The other thing that I wanted to ask a question about, because while you're short, then there's also this issue of longevity pay. And I know that that was supported in other first responder areas, and it was not supported in your department. What kind of impact is that going to have in terms of retirements? Because you're already 185 short, and you all were not authorized in this budget for mitigation pay. How many more sheriffs are going to be retiring because they're not enticed to stay like the other first responders?
It does make it a challenge for us. Anecdotally, when we canvass staff, not ourselves, but other agencies canvass our staff in regards to what their interest would be in retention and longevity pay, a lot of people responded that they would be interested in staying longer if that option was available. I can't predict how many people. We can only work on the assumption that our attrition rate will remain the same as we move forward into this next fiscal year. I hope that we won't see a bump because of that. I do know that there is promise that as we enter into contract negotiations during this next fiscal year, that there is going to be some support. At least there's absolute support from myself and my agency.
And I understand the Deputy Sheriff's Association also supports the longevity.
Yes.
I mean, I know in the past, I mean, there's always closed contracts, open contracts, but there's the ability to even mid-contract to negotiate something like this if you're confronted with a significant. So what is, you said it's, if the attrition rate remains the same, what would be potentially the number of deputy sheriffs that would retire before the contract opens again?
Yeah, anywhere from 40 up to 70, I believe our attrition rate is close to that number.
And that's almost, and then that almost is equal to your goal of hiring another 75 deputy sheriffs.
Yes.
So while we could, in the worst case scenario, stay exactly the same.
Yes, and although we did hire more than we lost this upcoming number, it's not a number that was very high. We got ahead, but we didn't get far
Who has
ahead.
to agree? Is it the HR department, the deputy sheriffs, and you? Is it the mayor's office, the HR department, deputy sheriffs, and you that have to agree to try to deal with this before? Oh, our controller.
I can answer that one just because it's structural. Under the charter, the mayor is the chief negotiator for the city, subject to approval by the Board of Supervisors of any agreements ratified with a recognized labor organization.
So maybe there's a, I don't know if that's something that you wanted to weigh in on, Ms. Dooning.
All I can add is that, you know, this year we were scheduled to bargain with the Police Officers Association and 798. So there was no negotiation with DSA this year.
No, I understand that, but often...
And there will be next year when their contracts are up with the rest of miscellaneous employees.
I understand that, but I also understand that if you're facing a somewhat of a potential crisis, that's something that could be engaged on sooner. And if the decision rests solely with the mayor's office, and then we're looking already at a shortage, and then we're being asked to deploy, and there's new initiatives coming, and the jails are short, wouldn't that be a motivation under these circumstances to potentially engage on this sooner? And I don't know if you're the right person to ask on that.
Yeah, all I can say on that, Supervisor Safai, is that I think you well know that we have vacancies in the city across a lot of areas. I mean, hospital workers, nurses, deputy sheriffs, others. We will